Hello and welcome back to the channel, peeps. Let me just start off by saying, hold tight, all the 3-point collectors, hey! Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. Things we love to see. This is how we like to start our weekends. Early kickoff coming. 12:30, Man City at the Etihad. You're thinking, after the week we've just had, this could be a long one. This could be a typical punchline waiting after the joke of a transfer saga that we've gone through this week. And honestly, I must say, very, very impressed with that performance. Very impressed with the game plan. Very impressed with individual performances as well. Hats off to Thomas Frank, man, honestly, because walking away here, 2-0 winners, clean sheet, not expected, but very much appreciated. And I feel like we should kind of break down this game a little bit. And credit to Thomas Frank. Oh, I can already see the notifications are all coming in. You see, everybody loves it. Post-game, hey, man. But we've got to put that on pause for a second because, listen, man, this was an interesting game plan from us. Interesting to see how City set up as well. I think Thomas Frank, once again, played the 4-2-3-1 system and played it a little bit differently compared to last week. I feel like last week against Burnley, we were very much on the front foot. We were very much trying to dominate possession, trying to dominate the game, and very good at doing it, to be fair. 3-0, walked away comfortable with another clean sheet. But coming into this one against City, even City at their worst, you're highly unlikely to dominate possession. And I think if I look at today's stats, they had 60%, we had 39% possession. And I think coming into the game, you kind of knew that was going to be the play. So the question becomes, how do you negate that? How do you counter that? And the way Thomas Frank had us pressing today, that was suffocating. That was nauseating. That was insufferable for their defense, I'm sure, because anytime Trafford got on the ball, they were on him. That's where our second goal came from. Anytime Diaz, Stones, Aït-Nouri got clamped early doors, got let known what time this is going to be today. Rico Lewis, it don't matter who you are. You was not getting a moment to breathe on that ball today. Richarlison, Kudus, Johnson and Pape Sarr, hats off to you for today, because you play that game plan to a T. Pape Sarr as well, involved for both goals in terms of his press, his energy. I've said so many times, people often look at Sarr and they're like, what is his best role? What does he do best? But last week got an assist in this 10 role. This week got a goal contribution, if you like. I don't know if you want to include that press as a goal contribution. But had a big part to play in both goals. And even though he's playing an unorthodox 10 position, I loved seeing that out of his game. But you have to give credit to Thomas Frank for that, because prior to this season, we'd never seen Pape Sarr playing in this role. In pre-season, I kept seeing him almost get forced in this number 10 role. And I'm like, brother, you have Kudus right there. You have wingers in Tell, Odegaard, Johnson. Why are you not just playing players where they're supposed to play? But he's obviously seen something. And these past 2 games, it's actually worked very well. So, listen, Thomas Frank, this was one of the things I wanted when he came to this club. Can you have us playing different styles, different ways and different systems? And so far we've seen a back 5 in the Super Cup, which was a great counter-attacking performance. We saw Burnley 4-2-3-1 on the front foot, great attacking football. And then today it was a 4-2-3-1 but played differently on the counter, high press when needed, aggressive in defense, no nonsense in possession. And the players executed the game plan perfectly. So listen, Thomas Frank, this is what I wanted to see. And I thank you once again for delivering me another 3 points. There's someone even said it in the watch along as well. In case you haven't seen that, go and check that out. What is it with Spurs managers and their brilliant starts early doors? And listen, it's a shame we didn't get that Super Cup, but 2 wins from 2 clean sheets. And if I'm not mistaken, last season we really struggled for clean sheets. I think we might have finished the season with 4 in total, I want to say, in the Premier League. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. But either way, I haven't seen clean sheets this regularly at this club for a while. So defensively, we've got a spot on and we're scoring goals so far. So I'm really, really happy with that performance. Really happy with the shape, the system. Let's look at some individuals though, because I do feel like there were some standout performers, and even at the end of the watch long, I kind of struggled to really name a singular man of the match, because I was like, bro, I feel like so many guys deserve it, honestly. Richarlison, let's start off with the top there. Honestly, back-to-back games now you've scored. 2 goals last week. Absolute wonder, bicycle kick involved in that as well. And then this week, again, good finish. And this is all I wanted. Like, there is no agenda against Richarlison. There is no innate hatred towards Richarlison for no reason. Like, all I've ever wanted from Richarlison is contribution. All I've ever wanted is chip in with some goals. I understand I'm not going to get the razzle-dazzle R9 Brazilian. I'm not getting Rivaldo. I'm not getting Ronaldinho. I'm getting Richarlison. So can you give me the best version of Richarlison? Hungry, aggressive, can chip in with a few goals. The things that made you what you are at Everton, at Watford. I feel like during his time at Spurs, whether it's injuries, whether it's a loss of form, a loss of confidence, we haven't been able to see anywhere near that level of Richarlison. Hopefully coming in this season, he's a lot fitter, it seems like. He's got that kind of bit between his teeth. New manager with a point to prove as well. Back-to-back games with goals now. Thank you very much, brother. This aggression that you're playing with, this is how I want my striker to set the tone. I hope Dominic Solanke now is watching off the bench and thinking, damn, I might be in trouble. Because that was one of the things I feel like Solanke lacked in his game last year, was the technical players there, the hold-up players there, the link-up players there, the passing is there. But that aggressiveness, that killer instinct when you get in that final third, do not let your defenders rest. When you get that chance, take it. That's what I want to see from my striker. And I don't care this season if it's Richarlison or if it's Solanke. Whichever one of you is scoring me goals, that's the one that's going to play. I ain't got no favourites in this race. I just want people who perform. And another man who continues to perform again, Brennan Johnson. Again, 2 in 2. And people will say, oh, typical Johnson, man. Doesn't have a great performance, but somehow masks it with a goal. Guess what? Goals change games. Goals make a difference. Goals win you games. So as long as you are chipping in and doing your part, I will never have a bad word to say about you, Brennan. You cannot touch the ball for 80 minutes if you like. But if you pop up in the 81st minute with a goal, thank you for your contribution. That's all I ask. I know my expectations on certain players. I know the players who I want to have the ball and drive with it. I know the players who I want to string passes together and dictate tempo. You're not one of those guys, Brennan. I know your skill set. Reading the game, attacking the space, being in the right place at the right time, positionally. That's all I ask. And that's all you showed me for that goal. I can't ask for any more, brother. Keep up the solid work. We will have a fruitful season. Last season, my top goal scorer. People forget this. Last season got me the win in the Europa League final. I don't forget this, brother. Yeah? And those won you good stocks for me last year. Last year was a year, a lot of people had to eat their words. Make them eat more this year. Make them eat more. Give me more goals, brother. Yeah? That was beautiful, though. I really, really feel like those two, I want to start off with giving them some flowers, because I feel like they've been two players who even Spurs fans themselves haven't been huge fans of. But in certain moments like this, they have delivered. You got to give them their dues. I don't care about your technical ability. I don't care about how you look on the eye test. Are you effective in a football game? Can you make a difference in a 90-minute match? You can? Thank you very much. That's all I ask for. Now, some more honourable mentions. I feel like Kudus. Let's talk about Kudus, because Kudus now, that game for me wasn't even one about, like against Brentford, the brilliance that he was playing with. Like, against Burnley, you almost thought he was Brazilian, genuinely. The touches, the trickery, the skill, the little deft touch that he did, incredible. But this game for me was about grit. This game was about, you know what, I've got Ait Nouri going this way. Aki, you want to come on and try to do the same thing? Nobody's coming down this flank. Porro, I see you're struggling with Marmoush. Guess what? I'm coming back to help you. That's what I love. Selfless footballer today. It wasn't about getting a goal. It wasn't about getting assists. It was about making sure we stay tight as a team. And then once we get the ball, that bit of quality on the ball to get us up the pitch. Mohamed Kudus, I love that, brother. We're seeing so much of his all-round game in these first couple of games. We've seen him play up front. We've seen him last week playing out wide, looking like a Brazilian. And this week we see grind and fight. Mohamed Kudus, if this is what you're going to bring to my club, I look forward to a very long tenure, brother. I look forward to a very long tenure. Now, let me talk on my midfielders. Palhinha, getting his goal today. Absolute monstro tackling performance today. Just everywhere. Him and Bentancur, I just felt like were just busy bees covering so many ground. Let me ask you this. Do you recall seeing Reinders today? Do you recall seeing Cherky today? Do you recall seeing, what is it, Nico Gonzalez? I didn't see any of them today. Those two shut down everything in front of them. Everything. And I absolutely love that, because those two for me are probably going to be the two starters for the majority of the season. Palhinha coming in with lots of experience. Obviously one of Fulham's best players. And then going to Bayern Munich, it hadn't really worked out. Now he's coming in with almost like a point to prove. Bentancur, I've always said, might be my favourite midfielder at the club, but he's never able to stay fit. If that brother can stay fit, you will see the real version of him. A quality technical player. A guy who's similar like Sarr, I feel like is a glue in that midfield, but doesn't get the appreciation until you see that kind of consistent run of games. He hasn't been able to get that because of injuries. I really hope he can stay fit, because today's performance, those two, solid. And notice how I'm talking about a lot of like shift, defensive and groundwork, because that's the type of game it was, in all honesty. We weren't dominant in possession. We weren't creating chances galore, but we were resilient. And we had to be today. Like, you can't play every game swashbuckling, attacking football, as I like to say. Some days you need to read a game and just be like, you know what, we're going to get a few chances. Take them. Let's be resolute. Let's shut up shop. Let's sniff out all the dangers. And let's keep everyone on their toes. And speaking of keeping guys on their toes, Jed Spence today. Because you see that, brother, Oscar Bob? That was my fear before the game. I was thinking Oscar Bob's going to come into this and maybe going to make this his comeback game. He reminds everyone, hey, let me show you lot why Pep is getting rid of Savinho, because I'm here. And instead, Jed Spence said, you don't know me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you today. I don't think he beat him once. Let me just quickly double check. Yeah, not dribble past once. Oscar Bob, man, not a great day at the office for him. He got absolutely dogged by Spence. Is the best way. Is the most politically correct way I can put it. But what a performance from Jed Spence, honestly. And even Van der Ven and Romero next to him. I thought the whole defensive unit, the past two games were really good. Last week was a different game where maybe they weren't as threatened as much. But this week they got tested. Marmouche in that first half an hour was chaos. Oscar Bob kept trying Jed Spence. And it was like, nah, bro. Haaland today. Oh, Erling Braut. Guess how many touches today? 22. Guess how many in the opposition box? 5. That's what you call nullified. That's what you call... Shut up. I'll smack you, blood, yeah? Romero and Van der Ven, bullies today. Absolute bullies. Some of those tackles. Shit brought a tear to my eye, bro. Yeah? That's how I like my defenders. Aggressive, front foot, no nonsense. No nonsense. Do you understand? I think there was one moment where I kind of got scared where Palhinha almost gave the ball away and we almost conceded. But outside of that, I don't think I had too many moments of panic today. And that's down to that defense, in my opinion. There was one chance where Vicario saved it really well as well. I can't remember who the shot was from. Let me see. I can't remember. But he pulled off a couple of brilliant saves as well. But I felt like that whole defensive unit for me, for so long, I have rated them. For so long, I've said that defense is going to carry us for a number of years because of their average ages as well. But for one reason or another, whether it's Van der Ven injured, Romero injured, Porro injured, Udogie injured, Vicario injured. Like, last season, we had them all out for huge chunks. And I felt like we got penalised heavily for that. And the fill-ins weren't as good, and the defensive record, rightly so, because of the system we played, didn't look as good. And people always criticize these guys who weren't actually always there and weren't always playing together. But I feel like you get these guys fit, you get these guys playing together. Honestly, this for me is one of the best defenses in the league, in my opinion. I absolutely love every one of these guys and wouldn't swap them for anybody, in my opinion. Similarly, like Bentancur, I really hope we can finally see a season of fitness for these guys and really, you know, see the best version of Van der Ven, see the best version of Romero, wearing the captain's armband with captain-like behavior, with captain-like mentality, with captain-like performances. That's the shit I want to see, honestly. Porro, Udogi, Spence, rotate them however you like, because for me, the way I see it, whoever starts, they seem to be dropping clinics at this point, and long may it continue. Next up, I believe we have... Let me just check the fixtures quickly. We have Bournemouth next, West Ham after that. 2-week international break after Bournemouth, and then West Ham, and then Brighton, Wolves, Leeds. For me, there's a real opportunity here, if we're on job, to really string some results together. Against Bournemouth at home, West Ham away at the moment looks like a everybody eats session. Brighton away, I fancy our chances. We need to get our lick back on those little pussies. And then you've got Wolves as well, Leeds after that. That's a 5-game stretch that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, hey, I want at least 12 out of those 15, a minimum. So let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know who stood out for you. Let me know what you thought of Thomas Frank's system. What have you made of the 2 performances so far? Who else do we need to sign in this window as well? If you haven't seen the latest video, make sure you go check it out. I've given 5 alternatives that we should be looking at to Ebere Eze. But hold tight, all the 3-point collectors today. This was a big one, a necessary one. I know everybody was waiting for that inevitable comeback right at the end, but not this time, lads. Unlucky. But smash the likes if you have made it to this point of the video. Really appreciate all the support on the channel so far. Make sure you stay tuned. There will be plenty more content coming. I will catch you guys in the next one. Till then, take care.